So I hate the point in the conversation where you have to say what you do. And it's not only because I'm unemployed. It's because people have such boring answers. The worst answer is, you want to know what I do or what I really do? Because then you have to feign interest in two subjects, which is, I'm already checked out by that point. But I was talking to this guy a couple months ago, and the conversation, just so you know where we were debating whether the J train or the Z train was worse, so it's going well. And so I result to, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I do marketing. And I'm like, ugh. And he goes, for a Mace company? And I was like, what? And I was like, well, tell me about that. And he's like, well, I think it's like any other job, except for when we do quality control. And I was like, what does that mean? What's quality control? And he goes, well, it's just, we have to make sure that the mace works. So every day on a rotating basis, one of the employees gets maced. And he's like, and then you get the rest of the day off. And I was like, sign me up. I was like, I bet you get to wear jeans, and then a little oregano in the eyes, and you're home before the view. And he was like, no, actually, it's 8 hours of excruciating pain and someone needs to drive you home. And I'm like, oh, well, but if they do the quality control testing, that means eventually, sometimes it doesn't work. And then it's, screw you, suckers, I'm off. And he's like, no, they just keep macing you until it works. And I was like, that's when quality control day becomes sadistic employer day, and that's when you have to get out of there. As if, and then I was like, well, maybe, I was just assuming you worked in a pepper spray mace factory, but I was like, what about it's the other kind of mace? Like the ball with the spikes on the end of the chain that they whip around in Braveheart? It's like, what is quality control like at that factory? Just stand still. But as though his job weren't hard enough, I started thinking about the logistics of doing marketing for a mace company. One, you have to bank on muggings and rapes. That's like your prime area you're going for. You can't have any great commercials. It's not like, Mom, do you ever feel not so maced? And you can't have an adorable spokesperson. Who I would advocate for spokesperson is Mr. Clean. Have you seen this guy? He looks like an ex-con who read hints from Heloise. Like he's this jacked bald guy with an earring and a knowing smirk on his face and a t-shirt to probably hide the tats that he got in honor of his victims in prison. I mean, the only thing he cleaned was prints off a weapon, as far as I'm concerned. I would mace him before I'd buy mace from him, but anyway. And then I was like, oh, it has to be hard to do marketing for mace, because there's only one kind of mace. So I was like, it's not like there's kids mace with like a Z, like mace your friends at Foursquare. Or lady mace, or organic mace, or Cajun style mace. I'm like, there's only one, how much can you sell it? And he's like, no, that's not true. We make two kinds of mace. We make mace, and we make bear mace. And I was like, bear mace? And he's like, yeah, mace for bears. And I was like, I had no idea bear on bear crime had gotten so bad. Let me tell you. And as if his job wasn't hard enough, now he is marketing solely to an illiterate crowd with limited access to money and thumbs. It's going to be hard. So I started thinking about bear mace. And yes, I probably should have done some research on it, but I didn't. So in my mind, bear mace looks like a propane tank with a Revolutionary War musket atop it. And this is how it works. So if an angry bear is coming towards me, I'm going to spray it with bear mace, making it angrier and blinding it so it can grope towards the pain in a rage with its razor-sharp claws. I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to work out really well. And so I started having some questions about bear mace in general. Question 1, how do they do quality control for the bear mace? Is there an on-staff bear? Like every day, I imagine at the factory, they're like, ling-ling to the testing facility, ling-ling to the testing. It's like, and he sullenly puts on his roller skates, because in my mind he wears roller skates and lumbers down to the, and then he just stands there. It works. 2. Is it one size fits all bears? That's the real question. Because I think what can subdue a grizzly would basically incinerate a koala upon impact. It just seems unnecessary. 3, does it only work on bears? 1, how is that possible? 2, like if I'm out in the woods, okay, and like a puma is attacking me, and I spray it with bear mace, you're saying it's like when I hit my grandma's cat with the water bottle to get off the couch, like nothing happens? It seems like you're missing a large subset of the population, because really, I mean, if John Voight had a can of bear mace and it worked on hillbillies and Deliverance, they'd be strumming a different tune on that banjo as far as I'm concerned. But if bear mace works on humans as well, I don't understand why we're making regular mace. How emasculating to be carting around regular mace. It's like, Mr. Clean making a shiv to stab someone to get a pack of Virginia Slims. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, I remember something I want to say, which is about the koala bears. A friend of mine told me that Australian research scientists are now putting tiny condoms on koala bears because there's an outbreak of chlamydia in the koala community. So in my mind, the natural progression of this is that the Australian government will hire Bindi Irwin to make an adorable public service music video called the Koala Clap. It's gonna be great until you imagine the snuggle bear having a terrible burning sensation while urinating. That's not fun at all. All right, everybody, thanks so much. My name is Jess Burkle. See you later. Bye.
Jess Burkle.